What would you do if you woke up white?
So my name is Dr. Cyndia Muñiz, and I am an Assistant Director of Multicultural Academic Support Services at the University of Central Florida. Sure. My educational background, I began my journey at Binghamton University, the State University of New York, and achieved a bachelor's degree in sociology. Then I went on to St. John's University, where I received a master's degree in sociology, and then made my way over to the state of Florida, to the University of Central Florida, where I completed my doctorate in educational leadership. What has driven me to become a champion of diversity and inclusion, stems from personal experience. From a very early age, I've had to advocate for myself and for my family members. And so, coming from an inner city background where we didn't have much to begin with, and just kind of making my way through education and trying to convince others that I was worthy, that I was capable. When I got older and I started, kind of achieving those degrees, then I definitely consider myself to be the voice of the voiceless. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. And so in New York City, as you may know, is very diverse. And so then my first experience ends up starts in college, where I go to Binghamton, which is upstate New York. Binghamton is a small white town. And so very quickly, I understood that I was different. Very quickly, I understood that there were not many who looked like me, who sounded like me, who just came from the background that I did, the experiences that I had. And as I continued on with my education through graduate school, even more so. And so the higher you go, the less of us there are. And so I remember being in my master's courses or my doctoral courses, and even back, when we moved back to the undergraduate experience and having to speak up for all Latinos, and being expected to carry that torch and to represent all Latinos, which was a challenge because there's a lot of diversity within the Latino community. But I did it with pride. I did it with much love in my heart, but it was very, very challenging nonetheless. And it was some additional pressure that I put upon myself because I felt that if I had said something the wrong way or did something wrong, that I made all Latinos look bad. I always felt like I had to present the very best me no matter what, even if no one was looking, because I didn't want to say anything that would basically make people feel or think certain things about my particular group. It's important for, I think, minorities to see themselves across the board, right? And so, as a very simple example, when we talk about dolls, right, and when we look at young girls being able to see themselves or identify with dolls or see themselves on TV in positive ways, positive images that reinforce that they belong, that they are beautiful. And so that's just one particular example. Now, when you look at education and you look at, just corporate America, there are strong signals, right, symbols out there that indicate who are the individuals who are controlling policy, who are the individuals that are controlling budgets. And when we are serving a particular population, whether it be students or a particular clientele, those individuals that are making those kinds of decisions ought to be able to identify or understand the particular experiences of whatever market or group that they are serving. And so that is not necessarily what we are seeing today. So why is it important? Because it makes a difference to those individuals who are being affected by those decisions, right? And where money is how it's being utilized. how do we move forward against racism and classism? Well, one, we need to acknowledge it and accept that it still exists to begin with, because unfortunately in society today, many individuals seem to feel that it is no more, that racism does not exist, that classism or sexism does not exist. And so step one is acknowledging that it does exist, that there are groups that have privilege, that there are groups that are discriminated against simply because of who they are or where they come from. We need to accept it, acknowledge it, talk about it, and be about it. What I mean by be about it is, not only have the courage to have those conversations and to bring forward the ignorance that we all have in whatever area that is, and say, hey, I don't understand this, or I want to learn more about this. Please help me understand. It's listening to those stories and talking about those particular experiences with certain people, right? And we get so comfortable with the fact that we're having these conversations and we pat ourselves in the back because we're having those conversations, and that's great, but that's just the starting point. What else? How do we go, where do we go from here? How do we take it to the next level? What would I do if I woke up white? That is such a loaded question, right? And it makes my heart, like I literally feel the tears, coming on. It makes my heart race. I would be sad, right? First, many things. It's a mixture of emotions. I would be sad because I love myself. I love who I am. I love my culture. And I love that I can speak multiple languages. I love my food. I love my culture, my values. I love everything about my dual life, if you will, right? I was born and raised in the United States, from Brooklyn, New York, but I'm also very much Puerto Rican, and I love that about myself. I am an asset to this country. I am an asset to those that I am in contact with, that I interact with on a daily basis. And my country and my culture and my people has so much to offer. So I will cry, first of all. And then I start to think about other situations, different contexts. If I woke up white, a white woman, maybe I can express myself more assertively without people thinking that I'm so angry, or that I have a big chip on my shoulder, or that I'm exaggerating, or that something's wrong with me. Maybe that's, would be me as a white woman, right? It's not like, oh, there she goes again. I don't have to hear the race card commentary all the time. Wow, you speak so well. You're so articulate. And now, quite frankly, many people will hear those kind of comments and they'll say, well, that's a comment. That's a good thing. Why would you take offense to that? And I think back to, or I think about the root of that commentary. Why is it that you're so surprised that I speak so well? Yeah, I spoke Spanish before I spoke English, but I have gone to school my entire life in English. I have a doctoral degree. Yeah, I speak pretty good, if not great, English. If I woke up white, I would absolutely feel that I had a better chance to sit at the table. Yeah. I wonder if as a white woman, I do feel that maybe I would be heard more often than I am now.